Chris Wallace, he's a host on Fox News. And time to time, actually more often than not as of late, he challenges people that you would not expect anyone on Fox News to challenge. Recently, during an interview with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, he proves that point. Take a look.
The president talks about terrorists potentially coming across the border. And here is Secretary of Homeland Security Nielsen. Take a look.
CBP has stopped over 3,000 what we call special interest aliens trying to come into the country on the southern border. Those are aliens who the intel community has identified are of concern.
But special interest aliens are just people who come from countries that have ever produced a terrorist. They're not terrorists themselves. And the State Department says that there is, quote, their words, no credible evidence of any terrorists coming across the border from Mexico.
We know that roughly nearly 4,000 known or suspected terrorists come into our country illegally. And we know that our most vulnerable point of entry is at our southern border.
I know this statistic. I didn't know if you were going to use it, but I studied up on this. Do you know where those 4,000 people come, or where they're captured? Airports.
Not always, but certainly a large number.
The State Department says there hasn't been any terrorists that they found coming across the southern border from Mexico.
It's by air, it's by land, and it's by sea. It's all of the above.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here, but special interest aliens is a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we found some of them. It's the special interest aliens.
Anyway, okay. This is a very serious conversation.
Okay, well, let's break down what special interest aliens are. They're people who get stopped at the airport. Are all 4,000 terrorists? Really, we found 4,000 terrorists coming in every year? No. They come from countries that have had other terrorists. Okay, well, that's a lot of folks, okay? And so, again, Chris Wallace is absolutely right. The State Department, Trump's State Department, has said that the number of terrorists caught at the border, at the southern border, is 0. And we're done with it. What else are you? And then they go on TV and they're like 3,000, 4,000 special interest aliens caught somewhere. What's a special interest alien? Don't worry about it. That could or could not be related to terrorism. You see, the terrorists are coming. The terrorists are coming. You're liars and you're misleading on purpose.
Can you imagine if there were aliens from another planet here in the United States, but they disguised themselves as lobbyists in Washington and they were pushing for special interests? And then they were the special interest aliens, the lizard people. That's what Alex Jones was talking about.
By the way, that would work. That is how you could capture our government. Like coming in trying to attack us, ridiculous. You just come into disguise and be lobbyists, you'll have the government within a couple of weeks.
100%, yeah. I love the fact that he handled the interview that way. And he's been doing it a lot more lately. I think that Chris Wallace, look, there's no question, he comes from a conservative perspective, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Everyone has their own political ideology, their own beliefs, their own values. What I care about is true objectivity, right? A journalist or reporter, someone in the news media who genuinely cares about getting to the bottom of the truth. And through that interaction, he proved that he's not interested in the partisanship of this. He wants to get to the bottom of the truth. And I appreciate that about him.
Yeah, and context matters. So has Chris Wallace ever done this before? If he just did it once because he's having fun, he was bored and did research for the first time on a weekend and was like, wait, I researched this. Like, this is the one thing I've researched. No, in Chris Wallace's case, to be fair to him, no, he's done it many times. So in the insanity of the Trump era, we have found some conservative heroes. And I don't mean just the never Trumpers, and a lot of those guys are not at all heroes. They're neoconservatives who just want more wars. But Chris Wallace and Judge Napolitano on Fox News. Now Shep Smith is probably at least a liberal, so I'm not even putting him in that category. But Napolitano and Wallace, I don't agree with them, but on policy matters. But they've been honest throughout. They just have, and so that's when you find out what people are made of. And look, this is a funny time to toot our own horn, but during the Obama years, we were very critical of Obama. And Democrats would get on us all the time and it drove them nuts. No, you gotta be honest. And I remember Rush Limbaugh saying after one of the elections, I'm tired of carrying the water for the Republican Party.
Then don't.
Oh, yeah, so apparently that's what you were doing, right?
Right.
So when Obama does something that isn't right, offering to cut Social Security, which he did, right? Just signature drone strikes, and we can go on and on and on. We called him out on it. Drilling in the Gulf, 3 weeks before the disaster happened. Here on the Young Turks, we said he shouldn't drill in the Gulf. That's a terrible idea. And it turned out it was a terrible idea. So now we know on the other side, you got Wallace, Napolitano, and a couple other guys. But obviously, the reason we're making a big deal out of it is because they're the exception that proves the rule. The rest of Fox News is a cesspool. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.